Okay, so I want to eventually write an article and produce a video with 100 niche slash unusual tips for depression. But I think I'll have to start with 10, obviously. So I'm going to ask in the comment section, what are some unusual things that have helped with your depression? Some tips that you can provide that are sort of niche, sort of unusual, not things you would just find by typing online, like tips for depression. If you've gone through I want to make something for the people that have gone online, read all the mainstream articles about what to do about depression, and still haven't found any relief, and are looking for anything that might make it so that life isn't such an existential horror show and nightmare of absolute suffering, pain, anxiety, stress, and utter despair at your existence. You know, one thing I found that really helped is to have a really sardonic, dark sense of humor. Like, something I recently heard that I share with people is, why does God stay in heaven? Because he too is terrified of what he's created. That quote was actually used in a Spy Kids movie, which is unusual because it's a really dark quote. Um, just looking at all the absolute fucked up things that happened just in the 20th century, what Imperial Japan did to, with the Asian, it's actually called the Asian Holocaust. People don't talk about it, but they killed like 10 million innocent civilians throughout Asia. They forced a lot of innocent women into prostitution. They did a lot of the same things Nazi Germany did, but we don't teach it because Japan's our ally, and we don't want to, have people have a hostile view of Japan, because they did really turn it around afterwards and have become a completely different society. Very pacifist now, and there's a lot of shame in Japan over that sort of stuff. It's really embedded into their culture. Regardless, and the stuff that happened in Soviet Russia, Maoist China, a lot of people don't even know like all the absolute dreadful things that just happened in history, because we only focus on a few of the tragedies of history. Man, I stutter like a motherfucker right now. I used to be a lot more articulate. I need to get another public speaking course at a community college. Another tip is, to get a social life, there's some things you can do, and one of them is take one course at a local community college, and something you're interested in. Like, take a course in psychology, or take a course in abnormal, psychology, or take a course in anything you're interested in, and that way you can meet people in those courses. If you're especially if you're 30 or under, you can still make friends in that age group. Now, even when you're older, you can at least talk to people, and if you love talking about interesting ideas and concepts, and you really love meaningful dialects with other people, then that's a good idea for you. Another one is just to be honest with the people around you about how you're feeling. Not your family, unless your parents are super chill and you're able to confide in them. If not, if you are good, then talk to them about it. If not, be honest with just random people. Like, yesterday, when people asked how I was doing, I was like, absolutely terrible. Well, life sucks and then you die. And people are like, I got a lot of different responses, and they all helped me feel better about where I'm at. A lot of people are experiencing the same thing. A lot of other people struggle with suicidal ideation on and off all the time. It's extremely common nowadays, so you don't feel as alone when you talk to a lot of the people. And if you have friends, man, hang out with your friends. Even if, like, when I get depressed, I don't hang out with anyone. I isolate myself from other people when I'm not doing well. But it's the exact opposite of what I need to do. Like, the worse I feel, the more I need to hang out with other people and really force myself to do so, because that really helps me a lot. And and I would like to talk about 988, this new mental health crisis number, the suicide prevention hotline. Now, it's really controversial. Some people say don't call it because they will send people to, incarcerate you against your will, put you in a psychiatric ward or whatever. I think it depends on, as long as you don't say you have a plan to kill yourself, and you don't have the means to kill yourself right in front of you, like you don't have a noose or a rope or a gun, and you don't say you don't mention any ideas of hurting other people, and you just say I just feel like not existing, they won't. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna send anyone to get you, but I hope there's a way to do it anonymously. I'm sure you can now with all these text now numbers and all that. There's probably a way to reach out for help when you're in a crisis. Another thing you can do is you can go to support groups, and then you get a whole bunch of different numbers, and you find people that you can call that will be there for you when you really need help. Support groups have been really like satirized in popular culture, and a lot of people think it's like lame to engage in a support group, or it's corny, or it makes you weak or stupid or whatever. But you can get a hell of a lot out of group therapy. You meet a lot of cool people who go through this, have suffered from the same like issues, mental health issues as you, who are chill. You can make a lot of friends that way. That and a lot of people who have overcome their mental health issues go to those groups to help other people get out of the problems that they had suffered from. And it's another thing you can look forward to is if you overcome your issues with depression and all that, or anxiety and all these other problems, you can then help other people just by going to those support groups and offering to help people, who are going through the problems that you suffered from. So there's like something you can contribute to the world that a lot of other people can't, because they haven't gone through it, so they can't really talk to other people that are going through it and really understand what they're going through. But yeah, there's just some ideas off the top of my head. I really can't say enough about like just being honest and just talking about the fact that you're not doing. Don't when people ask you how you're doing, don't just say good. If you're not doing good, don't say, yeah, I'm good. How about you? Say I'm fucking terrible. Life sucks. But be kind of sarcastic and funny about it. Use sardonic humor. Don't outright say, yeah, I want to kill myself. That will get someone to call. That will make someone call the police on you or some shit. So you can't actually state shit outright, but you just kind of make those sort of certain sort of jokes and just kind of imply it where people get your drift, but you're also just saying it matter of factly and laid back and chill. So like you're not putting any emphasis on them or like whatever. They're not coming off as needy. You're just like, life sucks and that's how it is, like whatever. I need to figure out how to articulate this better. I have to sit down and really write an article about it, get some revisions on it, and then turn it into a video essay. But what are some unusual tips? What are some unusual ways that you've helped alleviate your depression? What are some things that you've tried out that really helped? I have a lot of things that helped me cure my social anxiety. I did cure my social anxiety, which is amazing, and now I'm super extroverted. So I'll make another video about that. I made a video about it before, got 10,000 views, and it's still going. So I think I'll make another one and put more effort into it this time. And yeah, I want to make a lot of content that's going to be helpful, well produced, well executed, and that'll provide some meaning and purpose to my life, and it'll be a creative outlet. And the best way to learn something is to teach it. So I'm going to look up different tips for depression and make videos about those tips. And I don't even care if they get views in the beginning, because in the beginning I'm not going to put a lot of effort into it, but in the future I will put more effort into it. And then as I produce high quality content, the views will slowly increase over time until I hit that exponential curve and starts going up. Like when you make videos that are high quality, you don't immediately get a jump in views. It's exponential. You only see a slight increase. It's like this, and then shing, all of a sudden you just hit that point of exponential returns, and it's just all of a sudden you're getting 10,000 views and 100,000 views and 1,000,000 views. It's like it happens so quickly. It seems like you do 2 years worth of work, and then sort of overnight people discover your whole body of work if you've been putting out good content, and one of your videos goes viral, and then people check out your other videos, and all your other videos are really good, and then you get people that binge all your videos. Like with Super Eye Patch Wolf, for example, I found one of his videos, and now I've watched all his videos multiple times because they're so well done. I love his voice. I love how he explains things. I love how much effort he puts into it. He writes a whole script for it. He shows great visuals without getting copyright strikes on his videos. I don't know how the hell he does that. I'm sure there are some tips for doing that. I think you first have to get big enough where you can contact the YouTube team on Twitter before you can start like showing copyrighted material using the Fair Use Rights Act. So anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and for all of those out there struggling with depression and suicidal ideation, I feel you. Life can be a fucking nightmare sometimes, but it can get better, and you can figure out ways to make life meaningful and filled with purpose. And we have nothing to lose by trying to turn things around. So give it a shot. I mean, if you're looking for tips to turn things around, that means you are interested and do hope for a better future. So keep looking until you find what you need. It's out there, like a hidden gem.